start
Hi
thinking,
everyone, and welcome back.
I just want to go home. I don't want to go back there. How the hell? Because my idea was I was going to take the money and run home. That was the plan. It didn't work out that way. And lucky for me, when we got back from the shop, my dad went, "Are we going home?" And I couldn't have been more relieved to hear those words. Can we go home now? I was like, hell yes, we can go home. I want to go home now. So we went home. I had a bath, got changed, whatever. And then I went to see the counsellor and told her, and she said, first things first, it's not your fault. You did nothing wrong. Don't think you did, because you didn't. She said, you've got two choices. Either I will counsel you through this and help you as much as I can, or I can counsel you and we can let the police know what happened, and you will end up going to court with it. And I sat there for, it felt like 20 minutes, but it was probably only about 3. And I remember thinking, he's done wrong, he needs to be punished. So I did. I said, okay, let's get the police involved. And she was like, you're going to have to tell your parents. And oh my God. I remember when she said that, I was like, how can I tell my mom? How can I tell my mum? She's carried me for 9 months. She's tried her hardest to protect me. She's gonna be devastated that this has happened to her. To me even. And I knew I couldn't tell my dad when it first happened, because my dad would have just gone around and kicked 10 cans of out of him, and then he would have been in prison, and that's just not the answer. So I sat on the bus and I was like, okay, I was going home and I was going to have to tell my parents, and I was like, I need to tell my mum. That was Tiger. I need to tell my mum, because me and my mum have got a really good relationship, we're really close. And I was like, right, I'm going to tell her. That's who I'm going to tell first, and then she can tell my dad. Because God bless my dad, he's not very good with serious situations. He's not very good with handling emotional stuff in that. So I got home and I said to my dad, where's Mum? And she said, oh, she's out at work, she'll be back in a bit. And I went, okay. And I went upstairs to my room, and I sat there waiting for her to come home so I could tell her, because I knew the police and someone from the NSPCC was going to come round. Pardon me. So I waited, and she didn't turn up in time, because the phone rang and it was a policeman, and he said to my dad, we'll be coming around to your home. Has Siobhan told you what's happened? And my dad went, no. And he said, well, you best ask her, because we're on our way. So he shouted me downstairs, and he went, why is there a police officer coming to our home? And I broke down crying, and I told him, and he just kind of, it felt like he looked at me as if he was disappointed in me. And I know it's not what he thinks, but that moment will stay with me forever. He just kind of went at me, and I felt like he was going,
I'm sorry, I'm not
he was said, "You stupid girl, why did you let that happen?" Because that's how it felt. That's how it felt at that moment. So anyway, the police turned. I told him about it, and the police turned up with the NSPCC. And halfway through talking to them about it all, my mum walked in, and she kind of looked at the police officer and the woman from the NSPCC, and kind of was like, "What the f is going on?" And then my dad told her. I broke down crying. And I kept going, I'm sorry, as if it was my fault. But I was actually saying sorry for putting you through this. I'm sorry for breaking your heart. I'm sorry for all of this that's going on right now. And she gave me a hug. And I gave her a hug back. And we carried on discussing everything that was going on. And the lady from the SPCC gave me a booklet to let me know the process that was going to happen. It was very basic stuff. And I think it was once a week, I would meet with my counsellor, and then another day in the week I would meet with a woman from the NSPCC. So they were helping me through everything. And then the day before the court, or a week before the court, I was allowed to go and look around the courtroom and everything, and where I would be sitting, because obviously I was underage, so I had to do it through a TV. Then my mobile's going, it can bugger off. Then I walked around anywhere and we saw, and then the next day I turned up, and unfortunately we turned up at the same time as he was, and we saw each other, and I remember looking at him and he was laughing and joking, and I was like, how dare you be happy? How dare you be happy? And I went in and I gave my evidence, told them what had happened and everything. But before I went in the courtroom, actually, they got me to go to my solicitor. And as I was walking through, we walked past his mum, and I remember she grabbed me by the shoulder and she just looked at me. She went, "Are you okay?" And I kind of was like, "What are you doing talking to me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I walked off, and I remember that messed with my head. And I told my mum, and my mum was like, "Don't worry, it's whatever." But the fact that his own mother asked me if I was okay, that makes me think that she believed me, that he'd done that to me, which is messed up. She still stood by him, because obviously you would, because it's your child. And I was told that there was enough evidence to take him to court, but not enough evidence to take him down, because obviously all the evidence had gone down the sink.
Oh no.
Or the tub. And he got away with it. But it was so stressful for me that I didn't stay. I gave my evidence and I went home, because I just wanted to go home. I wanted to, part was done, and I wanted to get out of there.
Angry.
And I got out.
He stood off putting away with it.
Went to bed. And I got down, and the way my dad told me was not the best way to tell somebody. My mum was in the car, and he'd come back in for something. He went, "Oh, by the way, he got away with it. He was found not guilty," and walked out the door and left me in the house on my own. Like I said, my dad's not very good at handling this kind of stuff. I remember standing there for a moment and going, what the actual F?
I think she wasn't very happy
This
when she found out.
rage
Found it out.
just came over me. I was like, how dare he get away with it? He's done wrong. The TV tells you, you do wrong, you get done for it. I remember feeling so angry. And then this thing came over me where I was like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. And I grabbed a knife out of the kitchen. And there's no doubt in my mind I was going to go out there and try and kill him. And I walked through, because it had to walk through the kitchen, from the kitchen it had to walk through the front room. And it was just like instinct. I went to watch the front door and the house phone rang. And it was just instant to go, hello? Answered the phone, it was my counsellor. Told her what I was going to do. And she was like, no, Siobhan, don't do it, he's not worth it. He's taken enough of your life, do not get life for taking his. You're going to rot in a prison cell. Don't do it. And I was like, do you know what? She's right, he's not worth it. And ever since I feel that way now, I just... The first time I saw him walking around town, he laughed at me, and I'll never forget the laugh. He went, ha ha, in my face. I was scared, I ran off. Bloody long video, I'm sorry. So yeah. And now I see him and he smirks at me and laughs at me and whatever, and I just go, because it's been years since it's happened to me, and he's also desensitized me from it because he's done it so many times to me that I'm just like, off. He had a lot of counselling. My counsellor asked me, did I want to carry on with our sessions? I said no, I just want to forget it, which was the worst mistake of my life. I should have carried on, because I think it would have saved me a lot of years of depression, because that's what happened. I fell into a depression. I was going through the court case. It was stressful, going through the court case, trying to do school, getting bullied. I was trying to do everything, and it just ended up being depression. I remember the first time I got antidepressants, and I was looking at them. There's a house party going on downstairs, and I just looked at them, and my cousin came in the room and she went, what's up? And I went, he should be taking these, and I threw him across the room. And why is he not suffering like me? Why is he not going through all this? Why? And I was going mad about it. But that was just the start, because obviously I fell into deep depression. I had depression for 17 years, until I met my angel. So that was one of the factors that made me have depression. I didn't realise how terrified of men I was until I went to the shop one day, and this guy just walked. You know, as you're walking, like there's a corner and you're walking out, you can't see me. As you're walking out, they come across, and he was just there, and I just went, and I just literally froze and covered myself. I was terrified of him. And he just went, you alright? And I went, I'm fine. And he walked off, and I was like, oh my god, I'm terrified of men. Oh my god.
See you guys tomorrow for the final part.